Before this video starts, I want you guys to pay attention to the beginning of this video in the background gameplay. So I was playing a little bit of Park, getting some background gameplay for this video, and my teammate got absolutely baptized. Just look at this dunk. This guy actually green released this dunk and put my teammate on an absolute poster. Like, my teammate is literally on the ground. Now, this was all in fun and games, but I just thought it was the first time I've ever seen a posterizer that bad this year in NBA 2K23. And I actually think the addition of the dunk meter is pretty cool as well. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and jump into today's video. Now, before we jump into the topic of today's video, and I know you guys can see in the title, no, it's not clickbait. This is 100% correct. But before we do that, I want to talk about the current state of NBA 2K23. Now, the main complaint I have heard about this game is that apparently steals are broken. Now, I play on next gen. I'm getting a lot of people complain and a lot of people at me on Twitter and things like that. In my personal opinion, with NBA 2K23 this year, if you have to time all of your jump shots and the only way that you could score without dunking or laying up the ball is to time your jump shot perfectly, then a defensive build, in my opinion, now this is obviously just my opinion, a defensive build in order to get a steal needs to have some sort of skill to it. Because yes, I know there's going to be people in the comment section who argue that, oh, having a 95 plus steal should automatically guarantee you a steal in the game. I disagree with that because with how hard it is, not hard, but with how much skill it actually takes to shoot the ball, I know you guys are going to argue the word skill there, but you have to time your jump shot and understand the landings, understand the load ups for you to be able to green a shot. With stealing, you don't have to time anything. You could simply just press a button and then somehow get put into an animation. So in my personal opinion, it needs to work out in both ways for it to be fair. I'm curious your guys' opinions on this. Do you think steals take skill? If you do, press the number 2 in the comment section below. If you do not think steals take skill, press the number 4 in the comment section below. And I'm not talking about like interceptor and things like that. I'm talking about like on ball, just pressing square and then maybe putting the ball handler into an animation. Now, moving on to the main topic of today's video. Yes, what you're reading is correct. Ronnie2K actually ended up acknowledging VC prices and how hard it is to earn VC in NBA 2K23 this year. So there was this podcast that was held by a guy named Jacob Wolf. So he named this podcast Visionaries. I could be incorrect there, but the name of this is called Visionaries. And he did a sit down with Ronnie2K. So basically what they did is they sat there and they talked about NBA 2K in the launch of NBA 2K23. It was titled, How NBA 2K is Teaching New Players About Old Legends with Ronnie2K. Now, it goes just as you would expect any other podcast to go or really an interview with Ronnie. A lot of generic questions were asked, but then he actually took some fan questions, and a question that was actually asked was that if Ronnie has heard about what's going on with Madden, with the pack strike, and if he heard about the complaints about the VC. And he actually ended up addressing this, not exactly head on, and we didn't really get the answer that we wanted to, but I want you guys to listen to this and let me know your opinions, and then we'll talk about it after you guys have finished listening to it.
Username is Dev in a Chev. Crime or Rhyme is the username. Have you been keeping up with the current Madden pack drama as well as the VC pricing for upgrades in my career? Both are becoming big topics on social media. I've seen a couple different questions around in-game item pricing, so would love your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I have not been keeping up with any other games, so I'm the wrong person to ask about that. In terms of the experience in our game, we're trying to put out as much content as possible and give the consumer as much as we can. I remember that the cost of the game when the generation shifted was a big conversation, and obviously the price of an opportunity cost of making a game has gone up a lot. But I think we still do a very, very good job of like giving as much content as possible. If you compare it to like going to a movie, by the way, this isn't an exact great comparison, but I sometimes I think about this, like going to a movie now costs almost $20, right? And we're giving you hundreds of hours of entertainment versus the couple hours in the theater. And it's a different experience, right? It can be either super social or it can be super by yourself, and the entertainment value for that. So I tend to like say that is more the thought process there is that the more content, there's ways to earn your way to that as well, and we're trying to give the opportunity to play the game the way that you want to, and not force you down any lane. That's what I would say about that.
Now, there is a lot of information to take away from just that 2-minute little conversation that Ronnie was having. I'm going to go ahead and link the podcast in the description below if you guys want to go ahead and watch this. The first time I heard this was actually a couple of my subscribers added me on Twitter and they said, hey, have you seen this podcast? And then I watched a All City TV and a Brutalism video, and I had to confirm that the podcast was actually real. And it is real. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm shocked about a couple of things. I'm shocked at the fact that Ronnie2K actually answered the question, and I am more shocked that the host of that podcast actually ended up asking the biggest face of 2K, Ronnie. Now, you could argue that if you want, but basically the biggest face of 2K, he asked him to his face, has he heard about the issues with VC or build prices this year? And he acknowledged it. He's aware of what's going on. So all the people who said, oh, why are you complaining? They're not going to notice it. They're not going to care. Nothing is going to change. Well, the fact that they're actually aware of it, because if Ronnie's aware of it, that means that everyone working at 2K is aware of what's going on with the complaints about how expensive it is to make a build. Does that mean they're going to change the VC prices or how much it costs to upgrade? Absolutely not. That's not what it means. But it means that us as a community, we actually have a voice. Now, the way Ronnie answered this is going to frustrate a lot of people because it didn't really make sense. Basically, what he said is he feels that there's ways to earn your way up this year, basically saying there's ways to earn VC and there's way to upgrade your build, which couldn't be more from the truth, because unless you want to sit there in my career and play 3-4 seasons against the computer, you're not actually going to be able to upgrade your player. The real only resolution to this, if you want to not sit there in basically no life my career, is to end up buying VC. And that's the whole issue, because the game's already extremely expensive. Now, I know this is different coming from the perspective of Ronnie, which I like to think of this in regards to a lot of content creators, and that's why I feel a lot of content creators say, oh, there's no point in complaining, is because it doesn't apply to Ronnie. It doesn't apply to him because he doesn't grind his VC. He gets all that stuff just given to him, so he doesn't understand what it's like for someone who can't afford VC and has to sit there and grind out against the computer. And let me tell you, I guarantee you there's not a lot of people watching this video right now that have fun doing that. But at the end of the day, they did address it, which is very shocking and I think a very positive thing for people who are fans of the 2K franchise, because I can't remember the last time 2K actually acknowledged something so fast and told their customers or their consumers, us, that they were aware of the issues. But I'm curious on your guys' opinions on what you think about this. What do you think Ronnie said? Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to drop a like. Do not forget to comment your opinions on that podcast. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.